And as a reminder to the media, you can text me at my number 714-717-0573. Let me know you have a question, and then I will prompt you, and you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Please remember to mute your line after you ask the question. We're going to start here. We're going to do 3 to 5 minutes with each player. We're going to start with quarterback Christian Anderson. So with that, we'll start with the first question. First question from Ken McMillan. Ken, can you ask your question? Ken McMillan?
Yeah, I am here.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question here for Christian Anderson.
Christian, how did you feel about the way you ran the offense today, and how important was it to get off to a good start, not only today, but for the season?
I thought everybody as a whole on offense, we all worked together and we did a great job just executing our plays. Everybody, I don't think we had many missed assignments, didn't have too many pre-snap penalties. So I think as a unit, we did really good just executing and doing our job.
Ken with a follow-up. All right, we'll go on to Ken Kreitzer.
Ken Kreitzer, Sons of the American Legion Radio. Christian, congratulations. Tell us a little bit about the game. Your fullbacks really had a big game for you. Mccoy, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's always easier. It's always easier just having the B-backs doing such a good job running the ball, and then when they're doing a good job inside, we're able to get the ball outside. So it really helps our offense, and the linemen as well. Just they did a lot, just getting the holes open for the B-backs. So they did a good job as well.
And Christian, maybe you could talk a little bit about the offensive line in front of you.
What did he say?
Talk about offensive line.
And just about the offensive line in front of you and your center, Connor Bishop, playing his first game.
Yeah, Connor did a really good job. I told him when I was finished playing that I didn't have any problems with the snaps. He did a good job relaying the defense that they were playing, and the O-line did a great job as well. Like I said, we didn't have any pre-snap penalties, I don't think. So I think as a unit and with the O-line, they did a great job.
And just maybe tell us about your touchdown run when you ran 24 yards up the middle to make it 28-0.
Yeah, I was just basically following Sandon. I just saw a hole and I took it. The O-line did a great job pushing guys out the way. Sandon did a good job on his block, so I was just it was an easy run, wide open hole.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question from Emily Van Buskirk.
Hi, I just wanted to ask you a quick question about the music that went on. You guys had DJ Yoshi DJing live for the first time, at your games. What did that mean to you as a player, getting you pumped up and hyped up, and how do you think that affected the team's play?
I didn't know that we had a DJ, but I think the music was great. The guys were really into the game, and I think just having good music in general will always get the team pumped up.
Did you have a specific song that you were excited to hear that's your go-to public song for this season particularly?
I like Tsunami before kickoffs. That always gets me going.
Thank you.
Next question from Pete Thamel.
Yeah, Christian, this is obviously one of the first college football games of the season, and there are only 4,400 people there. I wonder if you can articulate for me just what the vibe was like playing kind of in a somewhat empty stadium during these surreal times.
I think the Corps of Cadets did a great job. They were really energized, and it made it seem like we had a crowd there, basically. So they did a great job keep giving us energy and playing off the game, just being that 12th man in the stands. So I think the Corps of Cadets did a great job.
In being one of the first games, was there anything that you guys wanted to do to just having this stage and what you could show the country?
We just wanted to go out and do our job and execute the game plan that we had, and I think we did that. So I think it was a good first game. We definitely have things we could work on and look forward to for next week that we could work on. But I think we did a good job just coming out today and executing our plan.
Thank you.
Next question. This will be the last set of questions for Christian. Chris from Spectrum News.
Hi, now you have Louisiana Monroe next week. What are you specifically looking to improve on as you kind of prepare and get ready for that game?
We're gonna look at the film from this game and learn from our mistakes, and then we're just gonna try to go out again next week and play with effort, superior effort, and do our job again next week.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Christian. Next up, we'll have John Radigan. So once again, text me for questions for linebacker John Radigan. Let's start with questions from Ken McMillan.
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Good, thank you. John, congratulations on the win. Can you tell us about what the defense did today to frustrate quarterback Asher O'Hara?
I think we brought great pressure. We played really well in the secondary, and overall, all assets of our defense were just clicking. We prepared really hard, and we did our job.
How about your own game? The 3 turnovers today in favor of Army. You guys converted them on offense. Just talk about your role today. You had one of the scores. Tell us about that score.
I'm happy about it, but I don't think today was about one specific player. I think everyone made plays, and as a team, we really clicked.
Okay, next question from Ken Kreitzer.
Hi, John. Ken Kreitzer. Tell us a little bit about your interception. You caught the ball over the middle, made a big run down the sideline. Just tell us about what did you see happen on that play?
I was just doing my job on that play. I think we had done a good job the whole game, bringing pressure and making it hard on their quarterback to make a decision. And it really just worked in my favor and our defense's favor.
Yeah. John, looking at the stats, it looks like the defensive backs made most of the plays today. Cunningham had 6 tackles, you had 6, McDuffie had 5, Broughton had 4. The inside linebackers only had a couple between Smith and West. Was that the game plan to let the defensive backs make more of the plays?
I think we were just playing hard, and Middle Tennessee did a lot on the perimeter. And when you rally to the football, it really doesn't matter where you guys come from. We were bringing pressure from all over the field, and we have playmakers, we have tacklers from all over the field.
Final question, John. What did it feel for you to be a senior and being out there, play a full game, and come away with a big win for your opener today?
It feels great. It was just a great team win, and to be a senior, our group of guys being the leaders on the field, I think overall just our preparation and everything we've done up to this point, it was very rewarding.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, sir.
Next question is from James Cratch.
Hey, John, I'm just curious, going into this game, were you guys kind of not really aware, obviously the game gets scheduled late in mid-August, don't have as much time to prepare and kind of not know what exactly the product on the field was going to look like?
We were a little bit skeptical, but the bottom line is, we had our film, and, we had at least 2 weeks to prepare, and I think we did a great job.
And also, how important was it to get that turnover on the first drive and kind of take all the air out of them right off the bat?
I think that was a great, that was a great thing for our defense, and it led to an offensive score. It was definitely a good way to start the football game.
Thanks.
Next question from Pete Thamel.
John, I'm curious if you can walk me through how difficult it was for you guys to adjust to a new coordinator and assuming some pretty different schemes without much of spring practice. Just walk me through a little bit of how it obviously manifested itself well today, but I'm just curious if you can walk me through some of the challenges that you had to overcome to get to the product that we saw today.
That's a great question, sir. But I would say we didn't really have any challenges. The way our whole defense just attacked the preparation and the install. And yeah, we didn't have a spring practice, but the time that we did have, we made the most of it. And that's also a huge credit to our coaching staff, the coaches that have been on staff for some time now, and our coaches that came in, certainly Coach Woody, the defensive coordinator. So yeah, I think everyone just played a part in the preparation, and we weren't going to let time or this different preseason impact us learning the defense and us playing to our best ability.
Thank you.
Last question for John from Charles Grievous.
Hey, John, your 43-yard pick six. I know you were a running back in high school as well. How did it feel to get your hands on the ball again?
It felt great. It felt great because that's the play that we needed on defense. And we were waiting for something like that, just a game-changing play that really turned the momentum, and our defense we were bringing it, and that was just a reward.
Great. My follow-up question to that is, I know there's a true appreciation of what you have meant to the Army football program from the fan base, meaning a guy who's waiting his time to come, and as a senior now stepping up when your number was called. How does it feel to be a starter out there today?
It feels great, and that's really because all the guys around me, I'm really confident in them. I trust them, and when we're out there, as we played today, things were just clicking. So I'm comfortable knowing my assignment, and I know everyone around me is going to know their assignment, and I think that's the best feeling.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, John. Next up, we've got running back Sandon McCoy.
Y'all know about Burks.
So we can start with questions from Charles for Sandon.
Hey, Sandon, congratulations on a solid rushing game today with 3 touchdowns in the first half. If you were to utter one thing to your offensive line relative to your play today, what would that be?
Oh, man, they did a great job. If I could, just take them all out, buy them steak dinners.
Great. And my final question is, how does it feel coming out of the gate with such a strong performance as a team, not just offensively, but just across the board?
Across the board, I think is, the energy that the offense builds from the defense, and then the defense builds from the offense.
Great, thank you.
Next question for Sandon. Ken Kreitzer.
Sandon, congratulations on a big day today, getting set. As Charles asked you, tell us a little bit about you had a new center playing today, Connor Bishop, and then also a quarterback who hasn't played a lot in Christian Anderson. How did they do today?
Oh, I think they both did great. In the triple, those are our main two important players, just because of the exchange between them both, and I think both of them played with really a lot of confidence.
And you had the 3 touchdowns. They were all on short runs at the goal line. What do you look for in those plays? Are you looking for a hole, or are you just running over someone? What do you think about when you're looking for that 1 yard to get in the end zone?
Just one job is get in the end zone and, get the rest of the offense off the field because we're all tired, ready to go sit down on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. Just ask you about the young player, Tyrell Robinson, who showed a lot of speed, got had almost 90 yards today. Tell us a little bit about the play, about his introduction, Tyrell Robinson.
Oh, just in camp and these past couple of weeks watching him practice and play in scrimmage. I knew he was special. He was gonna bring something special to this offense, and he's a really, really hard runner.
Thank you, Sandon.
Next question from Ken McMillan.
Hi, Sandon. Congratulations on the win. The 3 touchdowns, I'm not sure if they could have looked as easy as they did.
Oh yeah, like I said, my offensive line did a lot of that work, but also we had our receivers, our slots. I think it was a team effort, and all I had to do was just take a couple steps and go in the end zone.
Did you have expectations for this offense? Did you have a clue that you would be able to come out like this as an offense?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of confidence in this entire team, but also the offense. I know that we've been working really hard over the past couple months, and we're ready to play.
This was your last season home opener as a senior. Very strange, not like any of the other games you've ever played. What was it like competing before just the cadets today and before a national audience?
It was different. The only thing that was different today was, the core was behind us. Other than that, I think they brought the energy. We fed off of them really well. I think because of them, taking that role of the 12th man on the field, I think that's why we got the outcome we had.
Thank you.
One last question from Emily Van Buskirk. All right, actually, I think that's it for Sandon. Thank you.
Cool.
Got Cedric Cunningham. Questions for Cedric Cunningham? Ken Kreitzer, you want to start us off?
Yes, congratulations, Cedric, on your game today. Tell us a little bit about your defense. You had 6 tackles today. It seems like the defensive backs made a lot of plays. Is that just because Middle Tennessee was running a lot of edge plays?
We could attribute a little bit of that to that, but really our coaching staff and the game plan, they put us in position to make a lot of plays today.
Tell us about, Cedric, a little bit about the guys up front for you, your defensive line. They seem like they contained the Middle Tennessee inside game
Yes.
largely today. Tell us a little bit about how they were doing.
Yes, sir. When they're getting pressure and they're in the quarterback's face and in his lap all day, it makes it a lot easier for us guys on the back end. They did a great job.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions for Cedric?
Yeah, this is Ken McMillan.
Go ahead, Ken.
Cedric, you had the forced fumble, which helped get Army off to a great start today. How important was it to get off to a solid start today for the team?
Really, our coaches put us in a great spot to make that play. We emphasized getting the ball back, and we were able to do that on that play.
Was this game everything you expected?
Absolutely. I think we played great complementary football today, and we went out and executed and played with fanatical effort.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Cedric.
Thank you.
And our last cadet athlete, Tyrell Robinson. Questions for Tyrell?
Ken Kreitzer.
Go ahead, Ken.
Thank you, Tyrell. Congratulations on a great opening game. for you. What was it like just for you being a freshman and being able to contribute the way you did today?
It felt great. All the upperclassmen or the veterans, they helped me out. And throughout the week they've been pushing everybody to be great. So it felt great out there.
And Tyrell, tell us a little bit. You had a neat run in the third quarter, 37 yards up the left side, and set up a touchdown on the next play. Tell us a little bit about what was involved with that play, and what allowed you to be open for the long run.
Just great blocking by I think it was the A-back that was in that play. Great blocking by Sandon, Mccoy, and the O-line just to break me loose.
And Tyrell, just ask you, when you're playing slot back, do you like to catch the ball? It seems like you like to catch the ball, run the ball, take the pitch. Do you like to do all the kind of the variations of that part of the offense?
I just, wherever the coaches think they need me, that's where I'll be.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, Ken McMillan. Tyrell, Army really displayed a lot of depth at running back today. Can you just talk about the depth and how vital that will be to this team this season?
We have a group of room of good slot backs. So I think everybody is well capable of contributing to the team and it's not a hiccup when one slot back goes down or comes out. So.
And it looks like you have a combination of finesse players and really just bull-type runners.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks, Tyrell. Now we're ready for Coach Monken. So text me if you have questions for Coach Monken, and we'll ask those in order of text received.
Okay.
Let's start off. You want to start off with an opening statement?
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm really proud of our team. I don't know if the opening game could have gone any better. I think it's probably the most complete game we've played as a team since I've been here as the coach, in an opening game, I should say. And we've won a lot of our opening games here, and there's always been some things that coming out of that game we felt like just immediately that we had to improve on. But today it just seemed like everything, the defense, and certainly the job that Nate Woody did, our defensive staff. It was incredible to have about 3.5 weeks to get ready for the game, and they pitched a shutout in the opening game. So I hope it'll last. They did a remarkable job. Our players played really, really hard on defense, created some turnovers, and that was a big part of the victory. I thought the offensive staff did a tremendous job. We had no idea what they would line up in on defense. We had we'd prepared for multiple fronts and kind of thought maybe they'd settle into something a little bit different than they did today. But I thought our kids really made a nice adjustment, and we were drawing a lot of stuff on the sideline on the whiteboard and executed and made it work. Kicking game was solid. We made some really good plays on kick coverage, and when we don't turn the ball over and we don't have to send the punter out onto the field, it's usually a good day for us. So we did both of those things, and again, very complete game. I was really proud of our team and our staff.
So first question from Charles Grievous.
Good afternoon, Coach, and congratulations on today's win, which makes the Black Knights record 17-2 at home since 2017. Can you talk about the performance of today's defense as a whole, but also the play of the offensive line?
the defense did just an incredible job of taking the ball away from what I think is a really good offensive football team. I mean, the offensive coordinator, Tony Franklin, he's pretty well-known guy in the profession, and does a really good job distributing the ball around to a lot of different people. And you could see they were trying to do that today, and we just seemed to be where we needed to, and made some tackles for loss, which were big plays. I think we had six tackles for loss on the day, and those are things that we really stress, is trying to create negative yardage plays for our opponent and trying to avoid negative yardage plays as an offense. And I was excited to see so many new faces, guys that hadn't played a lot of football in there, making plays. Cedric Cunningham got his first start. Marquell Broughton got his first start. Julian McDuffie, Caleb John. I mean, all those guys, that's the first time. That's our whole back end. Malcolm Morrison, a lot of faces that are different. John Radigan, who was just up here, what a great play that was. But he played a really good football game all day. So great job by the defensive staff and having a plan, but also giving our guys things that they could do and they could handle in this first game. It's a lot to prepare for when we didn't have spring ball and a brand new defense with all new terminology, and couldn't have gone any better.
Next question from James Cratch.
I guess, Jeff, with all the things you mentioned, no spring ball, new coordinator, strange, training camp, are you surprised at how well your team executed on both sides of the ball?
Frankly, yeah, probably I am. I mean, I didn't expect it to be 42-0. I thought we could execute well. We've got a veteran offensive line. We've got a quarterback that's been around the program for a long time. We've got a running back in Santa Mccoy that's played a lot of games for us, and that should be a confident group. I'm really pleased with the offensive line and how hard they played, how physical they played today, and the job that the entire unit did today on the perimeter, the wide receivers, tight ends, slot backs, everybody that was involved. But I don't think anybody, I mean, maybe they do, but to expect to shut them out and score 42 points and score on every drive, those are pretty high expectations. I wanted us to play well, play as well as we were capable of playing, and play really hard. And as I said, I don't know if we could have played any better in an opening game than we did, and certainly I think it's the best we've played in an opening game since I've been here.
Next question from Ken Kreitzer.
Congratulations, Coach. A great day. Tell us a little bit about it. It looked like your fullback position really was contributing at 4 players: McCoy, Buchanan, Atkins, and Bernard. All contributing. How do you organize so you get all of those players repetitions and the opportunity? They really were productive today.
I think all those guys are good football players. They're tough, and just distributing the reps for those guys is something that Mike Vitti, who's their position coach, really tries to manage. And there's times where Coach Davis, the offensive coordinator, just wants a certain guy in for a certain play. But oftentimes it's just Mike getting a feel for who might be the best guy for that particular snap. And they do a lot. We ask a lot of those guys, and running in between tackles. And Shannon had a pitch play out on the perimeter. They do a lot of blocking without the ball. Their blocks are very important. I heard Santa McCoy's name by both our quarterback and our slot, Christian, and Tyrell mentioned his blocks being out in front of them for some good runs that they had. So that's a good group, and we've had times in my tenure here where we've had a good group of guys at B-back. What comes to mind is a couple of years ago when we had Wolf Hulk Davidson and Kalen Holt, along with Connor Slomka and Santa McCoy, and those two names were on the bottom of the group of B-backs when we're talking about who's going to get the most reps. But just Sandin being around and being able to play with those guys and the confidence he has, and I can't say enough for him, Mike Johnson, Amadeo West, the leadership they're providing for our team. That's made a difference in the confidence of this team and how well they play together today.
And Coach, it seemed like your defense was able to put a lot of pressure on the Middle Tennessee quarterback O'Hara, but your defensive backs were making a lot of plays. Cunningham and Radican 6 tackles. Julian McDuffie, first game we've seen him play a lot, had 5 tackles today. Tell us a little bit about that mixture of putting pressure on the quarterback and then also being able to make the tackles.
I think it's just what Coach Woody designed for our game plan. We wanted to put some pressure on him. The Asher kid's a very gifted athlete. He's a tremendous runner, 1,000-yard guy on the ground a year ago. I know Coach Stockstill over there, who's a terrific football coach, thinks he can be a 3,000-yard passer type guy. So he's obviously very talented, and so we needed to put a little pressure on him, but not just be sitting ducks out there and be in one-on-one coverage all day long. So I thought we mixed it up very appropriately, and there were a lot of intermediate passes out to the perimeter, and it gave our DBs opportunities to make some tackles and make some plays. And I think it's just kind of the way the game went.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Ken.
Next question from Aaron Summers from the Military Football Report.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned this being the most complete game that you've ever seen there. Considering everything that's been going on with COVID and the different precautions you've had to take and without any fans in the stands, what did you see from your players mentally that allowed them to play such a complete game today?
It was a complete game. I don't know that it was the most complete game that I've ever coached here, but I think it was probably the most complete opening game. Opening games are very tough. You have no idea sometimes. I don't have any idea. I didn't know today just exactly what we'd get. There were a lot of new starters, guys that we were counting on to make contributions and had never had any significant snaps in a college football game. So I didn't know what to expect, but I thought the guys did a great job. And I really feel like our team, in general, our teams here have done a pretty good job of eliminating distractions and not being affected by emotion, the crowd or the stadium we were in. And this atmosphere is certainly different from what it typically is at Michie Stadium. Michie Stadium's a great place to play, and it's typically a pretty full crowd, if not a packed crowd. We played in front of sellout crowds here, and it's just a tremendous atmosphere. But we've also played in front of 111,000 people in Ann Arbor and 87,000 people or whatever it was at Oklahoma, and the big Army-Navy games and the crowds there. And I don't know that that really affects the way our guys play. They do a really good job of eliminating all the other stuff that's going on and focusing on their job. And it did. And really, when the ball kicked off today, I don't know that it felt a whole lot different than any other game, just because we kind of block everything else out and zero in on the mission at hand.
Next question from Ken McMillan.
Jeff, can you elaborate on Christian Anderson's play today and also speak about how Jamel Jones did in his appearance?
I'm really proud of Christian, because he's been around here a good while and been behind other quarterbacks and now to take over and it kind of be his debut. He got thrown into the fire in the Army-Navy game a year ago, and he just seems much more prepared and poised and ready to be our starting quarterback. And I thought he did a nice job today. There's going to be some things that we will be critical of with his performance. And I mean, there's things I can think of. You know, we talked to him on the sideline as he came over after drives and discussed those things with him. But I thought for the most part he played a really good football game, and I was excited to see Jamel go in there and run the ball so hard. I think that was a thing that he did that perhaps even was more impressive than Christian, is just running very physical on the perimeter and getting behind his pads, and I thought he did a nice job going in there, and it's good for him to be able to go into the football game in that situation where we've got a lead, and he can just get some confidence and turn it loose. And if he makes mistakes, it wasn't at that point going to cost us the football game. The last time he got thrown in when he had to go in, we didn't have any quarterbacks left at Hawaii, and he's trying to lead us to a comeback victory. And it's a lot of pressure for a guy in his first real snaps as a college football player. So the more we can play him, I think the better he'll be prepared, and I'm excited about the future with him.
And Jeff, overall, how relieved are you to just get this game out of the way, this whole week out of the way?
I'm relieved every time we win, and that's just kind of the way it is when you're a coach. When you win, it's a relief, and you just get a chance to then kind of take a breath and move on to the next one. But I will say I had a lot of fun today. I had a lot of fun with our team. Our team was enjoying it and having fun, and it probably, just because of the state of affairs we're in with the pandemic and the uncertainty that there would even be a season, there was a part of me that was uncertain if we were ever going to get to this day. So just to be able to go to the stadium and take the field, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed coaching today as much as I have in a long time.
We'll close things out with the last questions from Chris from Spectrum News.
Hi, Coach. Congrats on the win. Off to a strong start in the first quarter, able to carry that through all 4 quarters. What really allowed you guys to be consistent for all 60 minutes of today?
Execution of the fundamentals. I thought our guys were doing a good job of blocking and staying engaged on blocks on offense. Our defense did a nice job getting off blocks. We had, as I said, we had some tackles for loss, and I thought our guys did a nice job fundamentally doing those 2 things, which is a major part of the game. You got to be able to block. You got to be able to get off of blocks on defense, and then creating the turnovers on defense, which were huge for our confidence and to give us a short field on offense. And we didn't turn the ball over all day, offensively or on special teams, and those were 2 key factors in winning the football game. So I thought the guys, for the most part, did a great job, and again, I don't want to, kill them with praise. There's going to be some things we'll find that are critical, but it's, like I said, it's hard to find a lot of mistakes today.
All right, and I guess that's our last question here.
Oh, sorry.
One more? Okay, one more from Chris.
You have Louisiana Monroe next week. What are just some of your expectations as you head into that game?
I don't know anything about that team. It was a late add to our schedule, and thanks to Mike Buddy and Bob Beretta. Bob Beretta worked his butt off to build a schedule for us, and it seemed like every time there was a team that dropped or we lost one, he had one to replace it, and so we're fortunate to get that game. But I know very little about their football team. It's going to be their opening game, so since we've scheduled the game, they've had the opportunity to prepare for just one team, and that's us. And so we'll have 1 week to get ready for them. But just hope our guys will use this as some momentum and continue to play well going into that game. We'll have to have a great week of practice.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.